In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Don and Elizabeth are with us. Welcome, guys. How are you?
We're great. How are you?
Blessed by the best.
Hear you, man. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome. Where are you guys from?
Simpsonville, South Carolina.
And what is that near?
That is near Greenville, South Carolina. It's about 10 miles south of Greenville.
Gotcha. Okay. Welcome to Nashville. Good to have you. And you're here to do a debt-free scream.
We are. We
Cool.
are. Absolutely.
How much have you paid off?
$198,000.
I love it. And how long did that take?
43 months.
Good job. And range of income during that time?
Started at 60 up to about 85 now.
Good. Now, was that your house?
That includes our house. We are debt free. We have zero
Completely
debt.
freaking
Zero.
debt
None.
free. I love
You told
it.
me 43 months ago that this was going to happen. We would be standing here. You could have pushed me over.
Really?
That's
it's
how we
impressive.
celebrated our 32nd anniversary this year by paying off the house.
Paying off the mortgage.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
What's this house worth?
About $195,000.
It's paid for.
It's paid for.
Did anybody tell you had a paid for house?
It's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
She went out and walked in the grass. I was out doing something else. Was doing what I do for a living. So when I got home, I walked in the grass. Took off the shoes and went and walked in the grass. It was awesome.
Grass feels different when you own it.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
It does. Very cool. Very cool. Well, very cool. Good to have you guys. So what happened 43 months ago that put you on this journey?
Well, it actually happened 49 months ago.
Okay.
Donald's late father was very, very sick, and he was staying up with his dad in Asheville, North Carolina. My dad was giving me a ride back and forth to Greenville to help me we have a special needs child to help me get her to therapy and all that kind of stuff. And we were coming home one night to Greenville. He said, "Let's listen to Dave." And I said, "Who?"
Say what?
So I heard the debt-free screams, and I thought, that'll never happen to us. There's no way we can do that. And then in October of that year, his dad passed away in June. In October, I was under the couch cushions, rolling coins, and added my $56 to my $1,000 bonus, little extra emergency fund.
Yeah.
And we just started going from there.
And you took off, huh? So you started believing that it could happen.
Right.
Absolutely, and it can happen. And like you preach all the time, you just got to believe it, and you've got to be. You got to be disciplined to be able to do it. But it is absolutely. If we can do it, believe me, anybody can do it.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, you guys knocked this out, and you have been on Beans and Rice for about 4 years. I mean,
Well,
you've been
you live
watching
like
what you're
nobody
doing.
else, so you can live like nobody else.
Yeah, you really are. And you're sitting here with a paid-for house. That's very, very cool. Making 60 to 85, though, to knock out 198 in 43 months, that's serious. Did you sell anything, or did anything else happen?
Well, and that's the other thing is, like you always are preaching, find stuff that you can sell. So we had a piece of property that we had in our possession for 22, 23 years. We sold that off.
Okay. What did that bring?
That brought us about $90,000.
Paid off all the credit cards.
Yeah,
Okay.
paid off all the credit cards. We had some jewelry that we sell, but she actually started it before we did any of that. She threw the debt snowball, and we paid off about $20,000 to $25,000 just right there. Getting
I
the jump
wasn't
on
really
it.
concerned until I wrote the debt snowball out.
Ah,
I saw how much debt we actually were in.
okay. And then that gave you, like, your wake-up call, the shock.
It was the wake-up call. But we're at the point now where we've got our 6 months put away, and we're as happy as can be right now.
I love it.
To
Yeah,
be in a
you're-
situation where you have extra income every month and to figure out what you can do with it. The other thing that we will tell you, Dave, and tell your listeners, tithe. Absolutely. We have found out, we've been, like you said, been married 32 years. We have found out when we have tithe, it's unbelievable the way that you see that you're blessed by the man above, by God. When we don't tithe, we're not nearly as blessed. Tithe. I mean, it is such an important biblical principle and something that we have just absolutely latched onto and try to do. And now we're able to go above and beyond the tithe, and it's great to be able to give to other things that we're interested in and seeing. And it's just a wonderful way and a great feeling.
Absolutely. You live like no one else. Later, you can live and give like no one else.
Absolutely.
There's a principle there. There's something that happens when you give that is spiritual, it is mystical, but it's also really practical. It resets your brain.
Absolutely.
And I guess it takes your eyes off of you for just a minute. And I don't know what it is. But I've just witnessed it all these years. I've never had a soul ever in all the years of doing this that said, I started tithing and my life, it ruined my life. I've never heard that.
Well, it's one of the things it's a challenge.
Yeah.
God just lays it in front of me. Test me in this.
Yeah.
See if it's true.
And it helps to remind you that it's all His anyhow.
Yeah, that resets your brain. Centers you, if you will, back on what's important and what's real.
Well, and it's like when Christ said, hey, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, but also love your neighbor as yourself. Part of loving yourself is realizing when you've made bad decisions, it's correcting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just realizing when you have done something wrong. That was part of the thing that we found out about being able to pay off this debt. It wasn't honoring God in any way, shape, or form to be a servant to the master.
Mm-hmm. So other than tithing, what do you tell people the key was to you all making this milestone of having your home paid off and everything?
Well, envelope system, absolutely.
Here it is, baby, right there. Right there. Yeah.
I'm an impulsive shopper. Sometimes when I'm out, I'll buy things on impulse. And
you're the only one.
When I was in the bank one day cashing my check, which every time I see it on the statement, I go, what did I spend that money on? But it's my envelope system. But she asked me, she said, well, what do you do when the food's envelope is empty? I said, I don't eat.
Yeah, I'm down to like $8 in my lunch envelope right now. So it's the 20.
Careful.
I got 6 more days to make it through to the end of June, and then I can reload.
There you go. Sounds like some leftovers are in your future.
That's all right. That's perfectly
Continued
fine.
blessings.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, that's exactly how it's done right there. It sounds so common sense because it is, and yet it's not common. And a midnight drive with your dad and the strange man on the radio, and then all of a sudden you start doing this stuff. I'm so proud of y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She sleeps with you every night.
Oh, careful now.
I know. I climb in bed and she's got her headset on and she's got the today's broadcast and I'm Dave. No, okay. Dave. Or as I call you, Dave.
That's it.
You got me through the flu this year. I listened to your podcast the entire time I was growing up.
I'm being attributed with all kinds of powers here that I just don't have. You guys are fun. All right, Don and Elizabeth from Greenville, South Carolina, $198,000 paid off in 43 months, making 60 to 85. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! He can carry a note. I love it. Well done, you guys. Well done, well done, well done. Fabulous. Hey, that's fun. Sitting there with a paid-for house. Wow. What would you do to have your house paid for? Would you say no to going out to eat? Would you get on a written plan? What would you do? Hey, Don and Elizabeth are neat people, and they're obviously bright people, but they're no different than you. You can do this stuff. They're proof that you can do this stuff. Those debt-free screams that she used to listen to in the car ride on the way back with her dad, they just did their debt-free scream. So when are you going to do yours? When are you going to get this moving? When are you going to get out of debt so that you can give like you want to give? So that you can invest like you want to invest? I'm telling you, folks, anybody can do this stuff, but you got to want it. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. If you're going to live like no one else later, if you will live like no one else later, you get to live like no one else. But delaying pleasure, that's one definition of maturity. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Got a whole culture of people doing what feels good. Well, you don't get to do what feels good when you're grown up. And grown up is not chronological. It's an emotional state. It's a mental health issue. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. So you have to break the cycle. You have to flip this thing on its head and make it behave. You've got to get so fired up and wired up that your broke friends think you've lost your mind.